What's up YouTube, Kyron back up in here with another video, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something I've been wanting to touch on for a while. It's been something I've been going through for the past couple of years. It's been like 3 years, going on my 4th year now. Been in fashion school. Fashion school has been taking up a lot of my time, and that's the main reason why I haven't been super consistent on this channel. But a lot of you guys have been asking me what I've been actually doing in fashion school and if it's actually even worth it for you guys to do and pursue yourselves, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in the same lane as we all are on this channel, which is fashion as the general interest. And going to school, a lot of people are wondering if it's even worth it going within fashion and going in that lane of fashion for schooling, or is it better just to go and network on your own and do your own thing, not even pursue education full on for fashion. So I'm kind of going to touch on my points and what I really think are the key things and key values that I learned while I was in school. I still have another year left, so like I feel like it's an important time because I still have some left to do, but I'm kind of on like the final stretch. I have only 2 semesters left, so I definitely feel like I could be of assistance for you guys. Main direction of this whole thing: school is not cheap, bruh. School is not cheap. So figuring out how much you're gonna be paying and how you're gonna even pay for this schooling is gonna be the main thing. Either you're gonna do student loans, or your family is actually well off and like they can actually help you with the payment, or you can be paying for that yourself. There's like, those are the 3 main things, or like there's gonna be other things, depends on your financial situation and status. But me personally, I don't be raking in big bucks like that. Like, I'm not doing like crazy numbers, you know what I mean? I'm not rich yet.
Come on, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money.
So I definitely had some help from my family, but at the same time, I know a lot of my friends that go to the same school as me, they get student loans. I know a lot of people that are also financially stable for them to just throw out money and do whatever they want to do to get the proper education that they need. So that being said, there is a plethora of options of different schools that you guys could definitely go towards for fashion. Me, when I'm in Canada, a lot of people are like, damn, like that's super cheap for the school that I'm doing, because in retrospect, for the 3-year program that I did, it was $15,000. But for a lot of people that like in Montreal, I know a lot of my friends pay like what, $140 per semester for like classic school, which would be like Dawson College, for like general social programs. But for me, because it's a specialized private college, I'm paying $15,000, you know what I mean? So like, it's definitely a big juxtaposition between the two. But in comparison to schools in the States, like when you're comparing like all these different schools, such as like the top 2, which would be like St. Martin's and Parsons, St. Martin's being in London, Parsons being in New York, you're paying upwards of like $140,000 for these schools, which is like insane. Like I can't even picture that. Like that's a car, you know what I mean? That's a down like a good amount on a house type shit. So me personally, I don't like being in crazy amounts of debt or living outside of my means, so I wouldn't want to put that on anyone. So definitely just be wary of that, knowing that it's expensive. So like, just make sure you have the means for that if you want to actually pay for schooling and if you find it's worth it for you. Also, making the choice between having like a mid-range education and going like super top notch, you're getting what you pay for St. Martin's and Parsons. Like, these are the 2 schools that Bernard Arnault and Francois Pinault both like do their hand selecting for, like the LVMH group and other groups of that nature, you know what I mean? Like, they're actually hand picking certain designers from these groups. So if you want to be in that top tier, if you want to be associated with these brands such as like Gucci and Balenciaga, and be like on the team and on the boards of these certain groups, then you're definitely gonna want to like go for those top tiers like Parsons and all that.
So this is how it works. They have 2 main schools that have raised the fashion icons: Parsons in New York and St. Martin's in London. Bernard Arnault and Pinault, that's their recruiting, you know, camp. They go there.
Me, I went for like a mid-range. Like LaSalle College is definitely considered a mid-range, along with FIT. No disrespect to anyone at FIT, but it is considered a mid-range when in comparison to Parsons and all these other places. It's better to do that for me based on my financial situation, and also I know that I'm not going towards like Gucci and Balenciaga. Like, I'm doing a whole other route. I'm trying to build my own branding and other things of that nature, you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely not something in my caliber of thinking. Like, I'm definitely trying to do something on my own, trying to create my own branding, trying to do my own ways of marketing and just create my own foundation. So like, it's not what I'm thinking of doing, you know what I mean? So that's another thing that you could go into thinking about when picking a school. Never mind picking a school, now going more into like the second chapter type thing, is what I learned from school and was this valuable in paying $15,000, you know what I mean? Me, the first year, I would say, is they kind of brushed me up on what was like appropriate within the fashion industry, what was kind of like valuable, the key foundations of it all. That was what I kind of learned in the first year, which is like principles of marketing, accounting, stuff like that, like kind of really dry stuff. Photoshop classes, different things like that, which was very important. Like, I learned the foundation, which is also important, but like there's also things in that I already knew just because I already had built up prior information, just because I'm genuinely interested in fashion, you know what I mean? So that first year was kind of like catch up, get everyone up to pace in the masses. Second year, which is the next 2 semesters that followed after that, was kind of like the dry stuff. Well, dry and fun. First semester was really fun because we did like kind of a presentation, like a fashion presentation class. That was really interesting because we're doing our own fashion show and we have to create the whole funding for it, and then we put it on, and there's 4 different shows, and that's how your teams get divided up into, and you get like split into like certain teams. I was on the visual team and I was able to provide like visual effects and also sound for the whole show. So like, I made a whole playlist with a DJ. I sat down with a DJ, like selectively curated a track list for our show for the walk. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll definitely leave it in the description below. Like, I put it in collaboration with Montreality on my SoundCloud, so I could definitely put that in the description if you guys want to check it out, just to see what the whole vibe was. Also have like some clips that from that project, because that was definitely one of my favorite projects, because there's some visual elements to that. So I'll leave those on the screen.
Time for this shit, I just lost my attention. Baby girl, I can't listen, I've been on my mission. You know what I wanted, baby girl, I'm honest. I at least would tell you before we started something. I ain't got no feeling, I ain't got no heart, but you know that I still let me play my part. I know that I need you, but you play my part. All that I need is you by me, baby. All that I need.
But yeah, aside from that, like the first year, that was like, I mean, that second year, that first semester was definitely my favorite thing, because it was like, you're actually being put into the field, you're being put to the test, you're making a fashion show. Like, that's like some of all of our dreams, you know what I mean? Because it's so expensive, but like, we actually made it possible. So that was definitely really fun. The semester after that is super dry. It's like data gathering, whole bunch of stuff like that, dry stuff. I'm not really into math, so that wasn't really in my line of preference for sure. I wasn't about it, but Anyway, got through that. Year after that, more general classes, more like English classes, French classes, gym, because we all have to take gym, you know what I mean, weightlifting, stuff like that. Already having a textiles class was enough for me. Like, I could not deal with a textiles class. It was ridiculous. Like, that was probably my most hated class, mainly because of the teacher, but like, yeah, I couldn't deal with my textiles class. It was ridiculous. And the book was expensive as hell. So yeah. And now it's more like trend forecasting, stock management, things of that nature. All of these you could get more information on online, and also like if you actually go to these fashion schools. So I'm just jotting through them just to give you a general view as to like what I was learning in school, you know what I mean? And still I'm learning in school. But the things I found the most important were definitely that fashion presentation class, visual presentation, which is also like kind of like where we learn more of the Photoshop work, because I feel like that's very handy, like as a tool to have. It's definitely very handy. Another thing that they make you do with this program is that they set you up for a 3-week internship at the end of the program, so that you're ready to go into some type of career once you finish the whole thing. The final thing that we have to do for our school, for our like end of semester, end of the whole year, the whole actual curriculum thing project, is that we have to do a presentation of our own concept or idea within the fashion industry and present it amongst judges. If we win, then you go to the finals, and then the finals you could win like money, and if people believe in the idea, they can invest into it, and then they can actually put it into fruition.
Et nous sommes vraiment fiers d'encourager le talent et la créativité de tous les finissants. Comme on vient tout juste de le mentionner,
they can actually bring the idea to life if the people believe in the idea. But like the goal is to get to the finals for me, for sure. But I feel like I have a really strong idea and concept, and I'm probably gonna bring that to light and take you guys along with the journey next year as I go along through that process. I'm kind of developing my team over the summer right now. Once we have the team all settled together, I'll kind of talk to you guys more about that and that whole project and idea, kind of show you guys the steps along the way through next year when I go through that whole thing. Another thing is that I picked fashion marketing as opposed to fashion design, just because I know personally that I'm going to be working with manufacturers if I ever want to do my own creative projects, as making my own brands and stuff like that. So sewing for me personally isn't like a key trait that I feel like I'll need in the future. I definitely feel like I want to learn like pattern making and like sewing just to have it as a tool, but I feel like I already know I'm going to be working with manufacturers and stuff like that, so I don't necessarily need to know that hand on hand. So I feel like marketing was a broader spectrum of learning for the fashion industry, so like I felt like that was a better fit for me because I needed to find myself in the fashion industry. But aside from that, WGSN is probably like the thing that's most worth it out of my program. My program is worth $15,000, okay? Take this into account. WGSN is worth $28,700 per year. And they give that to you for free. So like WGSN is definitely like an amazing platform. They have trend forecasting on there. They have like a whole bunch of CADs and flats that you could go through. Amazing stuff, just all accessible to you. It's like a central hub for everything fashion, a whole bunch of catwalks, stuff like that. So if you guys have the means or have anyone that has a WGSN account, definitely take advantage. You can't use mine because that's kind of illegal, but anyway, LaSalle might catch on to that, so I can't let you guys use mine. But definitely try to find someone with an account because it's very helpful tool for any brand or any creative at that. So definitely WGSN is an amazing tool. But aside from that, overall, my consensus of the whole fashion school thing is I feel like it's worth it if you don't know what you want to do. Like, I knew for a fact for myself that I would not be able to do general social classes in school because I knew I would probably drop out. Like, it's not something of my interest, so I won't devote my whole like being and everything into it. Like, I won't be passionate about what I'm learning. So if I wasn't in fashion and it wasn't for fashion, I definitely wouldn't be in school today. And I want to make my mom proud and graduate and do all that. So definitely that's something I wanted to do. It's a long process, it's expensive, but like if you definitely want to have an education after high school, I feel like this is a great option. And like for me, like it provides kind of guidance. Like out of high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew it was in fashion, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. This is kind of like put me on the right track as to like finding myself and knowing what I wanted to do for sure, you know what I mean? So but no one actually needs school. It depends on you. It really depends on you. If you find you need it, or you feel like you could go out in the field and network on your own and make those own connections and like provide a name for yourself, definitely do it. Definitely do it, because it's gonna be way cheaper, probably not as easy, but you'll definitely get it. But even in school, they tell you to make your own connections, make your own this and that, because that's what's gonna get you progressive in this fashion industry. My personal take on it is do it. If you have the money, definitely do it. And if you feel like you need some guidance, definitely get it done. But if not, definitely I feel like it's something you're able to do on your own. Like I built up a bit of a platform for myself without even doing too much. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of networked on my own and I got to where I am today. So, and it's not even a super high amount, but I feel like the way I'm going and the pace I'm going, I could definitely try to amass more credibility within the industry. So yeah, thank you guys once again. Let me know if you guys have any more questions about fashion and like about schooling or anything like that. If you guys have any questions like that, definitely hit me up on Twitter or DM or anything like that. I like helping you guys out. So hit me up, ask me questions, hit me in the comments below. Like I'll try to answer as much as I can if this wasn't as helpful for you or I didn't answer a specific question that you were looking for. Thank you guys for watching once again. I have more videos on the way. Getting my wisdom teeth pulled out, so I probably won't be able to do a lot of videos in the next week. I'll definitely try and stay consistent after that. Appreciate it, all you guys, for watching. You guys are the greatest. Make sure to go follow me on my Instagram, GOTSWEIGE on Instagram. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.